For some reason, I can't remember what I was watching. But anyway, I started thinking about, how to stop crime and where crime was most prevalent in the States. And it's in the big cities. And the big cities, what do they have in the big cities? Well, they're racially diverse. And that's where most of the crime is happening. Most of the gun stuff is happening. Now, you can say, you can take that and then you could take a country and you could say, and they're all put on all the big cities push racial diversity. But then they want racial diversity, but they want everybody to breed whoever they want of any race, which will lead to an individual single race, which isn't racial diversity. It's all one race. So they're basically, by saying they want breeding racial diversity, they're actually saying over time there's going to be a single race where everybody's a single race. Now, if you take that single race and around the world, most places that are the majority is a single race, like China and Russia, they were communists, and that's what they turned into. Now, you could also say that going back through time, and how much crime is there? How much crime is in Russia? How much crime is in China, being a single race, and the diversity of our countries with diverse race, are they more besides just having some people with art or people wearing weird freaking clothes? Do they have a multiple problem solving? Are they good at solving problems in their, like these communist countries? They're going broke because they can't solve the problem. They got so much problem with the racial diversity and all the different things that they're trying to solve, of all these people saying, well, I want this, and it's just like divide and conquer, and that's what's happening. Racial diversity is basically the divide and conquer put to the test, where you're dividing everybody, in different subjects, and everybody's almost individual. There's so many individual subjects, and you got the government going so many directions that it spreads them out, thins them out, and weakens them and destroys them, and that's what happens. But you got that Russia too. But Russia was they was trying to support countries like they was supporting Cuba. I don't know how many countries they were trying to support. They'd be owed taxes, but to keep them communist, I'm sure they had to dish out a bunch of money, and they were like a big corporation that, well, these people are retired and there's nothing coming from them. There's no big economy that's keeping everything going. And it's just an idea I had watching. I think the big cities are racially diverse, but then they want to breed until they're one, and basically it leads to communism no matter what. If it's Venezuela, they're like racially diverse, but they're also a majority, I think, out of whatever they are down there, and all those other countries in South America that are communist, and they're basically the majority, but they have a lot of problems. And communism creates a lot of problems, because they think, well, to solve problems we need control of the situation, and to get control of the situation we have to have a government control over everything, so our word can be the last word, and everybody has to do what we say instead of all these different ideas trying to solve a single problem for everybody. So that's just where I was at. Is like, and then you go back through single people before they're racially diverse, where they're single race, say the Mongols and stuff like that. I mean, Mongols or the Vikings, individual races, where war was, what created war? Why was there war? Well, the more, it could also come from the process of discovery, thinking about going someplace else and trying to discover something or find something instead of just being localized. So maybe discovery caused wars, which would be easy enough because with that comes there's something they use, and they have the say a gold mine or a copper mine, and you use it for bronze or whatever, to go into Bronze Age, or they had even a obsidian area where a lot of obsidian was, where they could make arrowheads and stuff like that. They that would be back in the caveman days, that would be something that they might have. Who knows if they had greed back then? Well, they have a bunch of this stuff, and maybe somebody, maybe before there was rules of saying, hey, this is ours. People find it. There might have been a whole bunch of people gathered around like an obsidian site, making arrowheads, all of one village or a combined village that over time had gotten used to each other coming there, and then a new person comes in where these people have over their lifetime known that all these people go to the site from this village, but here's a new person coming in. They just come in and they sit down and start making arrowheads or spears. I don't know if that was how it was or not, but I mean, then they're gonna, by their not knowing who they are. I don't know if the realization, if would they care if was it like that, or was it where people wasn't, would they kill them over that, or was people being killed? They keep finding these holes in bone in head skulls, and of all these prehistoric people that they dig up, and they're saying it's from axes. This instead of rockfall. I mean, it could be axes, but I mean. And I also made a video on why and how people could have turned to killing each other. So I'm not going to get into that here. But was there a diversity back then? Or was a diversity of two different, like Neanderthals and I don't even know what the other one's called. It starts with a D. But anyway, so when they met, was there a war? Or was there a war between, if Neanderthal seen a Neanderthal? Was it just acceptance? Or was there, you didn't know? I mean, did they have a realization of knowing somebody, or did they just accept Neanderthal for Neanderthal? Kind of like maybe giraffes run into another herd of giraffes, unless they're like bulls or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, how far back does diversity go? And was it accepted? Did it create crime? Did it create war? Did exploration create war? Because you're going out and finding something that somebody else has used for, who knows, maybe 1,000, 10,000 years, for, like, say, an obsidian site for spearheads and stuff. Anyway.